humbled every time I take a group of young men into another building, and I see the difference in behavior of both the parents and the kids. I see the difference in the expectations that we put on these young men and women, and it flows through our community. One of the things I talk to the team about is that during the course of the game is going to be a product of us. We're not going to be a product of the environment. The other team doesn't dictate terms to us, and that is what I think we give to these young men and women. So I'm humbled to be a part of it as a coach, and I'm really grateful as a father of 3 boys who have played through here, the young men that I see and young women that I see come through this program. So thank you all for letting me be a part of it. And although we embarrassed him thoroughly last year, to not recognize Greg Furlong in his last hour as part of the Monte Cristi basketball program would be a mistake. But if girls coaches keep talking like it might be 2 hours, we got to keep these guys moving. I will say for the girls coaches, I am impressed there's no banners made, but Mike Palmer have a thing in his basement that he printed those out. I mean, those were up on the wall the night after the championship. He didn't wait. That's impressive, guys, for strength. So I'll talk a little bit about each of the kids. I have 3 boys that I didn't see, Vincent Suarez, George Radigan, and Dean O'Brien. The first kid I want to talk about, and I appreciate you talking about the second grade program for a minute. Everyone here played second grade, if you remember, is beef, right? Balance, yeah, right. End up here, right? And why do you stay up here? What do you pose for? You want a picture of Grandma's fridge, that's right. Well, I had one kid this year who actually did that. His mom was laying underneath that basket with a camera taking pictures. And this kid, who maybe had 5 baskets all year, came down, posed, head faked, waited, and then made the basket so his mom got the picture. It's impressive. Zeke Caldone. In our out of bounds set, we have 4 or 5 options that run off of it, and one of them involves me screaming, "Tommy, go! Tommy, go!" And it's basically just a diagonal cut from one corner to where the guy has the ball. And any other year I've run it, whenever I yell the kid's name, they go like this, right? They're looking, they can't wait to go. This kid like a statue, right? No one has any idea it's him until break is yelled, and then he takes off. Kind of gave away who it was, right, with Tommy Go, but this kid is Tommy Martin. This next kid's story, I mean, I must have told it 50 times. In his very first practice in this gym with me coaching, he left, disappeared. Looking around going, where did that little redhead kid go, man? He's out in the lobby with his mom, right? Doesn't want to play anymore, doesn't want to do it anymore, can't stand it. I sent Joe Toomey out to go get him back in here. This is crazy. And now he's one of the best players at any level. Now his parents keep telling me that basketball got him out of his shell. Can I please put him back in? I don't know how to do that. I just know how to get him out. And he's a great kid, and you'll see his face will be bright red when he gets up here. That's how I know it's time to sub for him. He's an instant thermometer. Parker Leach. Next young man is a tenacious man-to-man defender, locks the guy down, takes him out of any play they're trying to run. The only problem is that I only run zone defenses, so it's really confusing for everybody else on the team, and that's Michael McNeil. Next young man scored his first basket of his career this year on a nice 4-foot jump shot from right down there in the corner, wide open off of a back screen, ran it perfectly, has an enthusiasm for the game that we need to dial back just a little bit, a little too much screaming, a couple too many fouls. That's Gabe Donovan. You ready? Ready? This last kid gets embarrassed when I do the Mushy stuff. He's getting too old for it, about how proud I am of him and how much I love him, all that stuff. So I won't say any of that. I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. But I'm also really happy as I've watched him grow into an actual basketball player this year. Rebounder, scorer, passing, doing those things that are going to really endear him to coaches for years to come. It's also tough for him because he's heard every speech. I think he started going to practice with me when he was in a car seat with his older brother. but he handles it really well. He doesn't repeat or mock me, at least not to my face, probably later he does. He doesn't tease me, and he's one of the few kids who knows how to get me out of a funk I'm in. In our last game of the year, we got our butts beat, let's be honest. That semi-final game got crushed. About a minute to go in the game, we're down anywhere from 15 to 30, depending on how I like to remember it. And Christopher's on the foul line. He makes his first free throw regular, and then he does a potty shot, an underhanded basket. And he looks at me and says, "Dad, relax." And he walked and just went right back down the court. So thank you for knowing how to get me out of a funk. Chris. So a couple more real quick thank yous. I want to thank coaches Grimes, Toomey, and Henrik. I won't go into the details. We did something different this year, something I think was important to do when we split the teams, and I appreciate that they did it. And I'm going to tell one last story, because people talk about championships, they talk about records, and I'm not going to talk about any of that. I'm going to talk about close the loop on the community. We have a fan who's been going to Tommy Martin's games for years, and that's his great-grandfather, Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin sits in the games, and I've said this before, he should teach a course on how to be a fan. Always positive, shakes the kids' hands afterwards, only ever says two things to me: "Great win, coach," or "Just wasn't our day, we'll get them next time." That's all he ever says. During the course of the year, they noticed, not me, that he was missing for a couple of games. And as a group, they figured out, by talking to some of the parents, that he was not feeling well. And they decided amongst themselves, he's not feeling well, what could we do to make him feel better? I show up at a game at Half Moon, and they're signing the game ball. And they're signing the card. I said, "Coach, you got to sign this. It's for Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin's not feeling well. We're going to make him feel better." In my season arc, it's not going to be a shot made. It's not going to be a rebound. It's not going to be a blocked shot or a win or a loss. It's going to be 9 young men wanting one person to feel better. Thank you for this community.